Alright, hey guys, welcome back to Firefish channel, it's Kai. So today we are reviewing on set 75267, the Mandalorian Battle Pack set from LEGO Star Wars. So this set has 4 minifigures, retails for $19.99 in USD, retails for $20.90 in Singapore, and has 102 pieces. So from research, I've actually found that because Sabine's Wren's helmet is actually wine shaped, these 2 minifigures over here are girls, whereas these 2 minifigures over here are guys. So yeah, let's go on with the review of this video by first building it up and reviewing later on. Hey guys, welcome back to the review section. So check out my real-time video that I just finished building this set later on in the description below. Otherwise also check out the haul video that I made recently. So for this set, there's actually 4 minifigures over here as said, above 102 pieces. So what I didn't notice is that, what I noticed after building, is that there's a lot of extra pieces over here. So around a total of 10 to 20 pieces. So these are all like the scope of the different minifigures. So that's pretty interesting to get. So now let's go on to looking at the minifigures. Alright, before I start on the minifigures, I just want to say that I've not watched The Mandalorian as of this point. And of course, I do know about the hype of Baby Yoda. Anyway, so without much knowledge on The Mandalorian, I'll just base my knowledge on Rebels to actually express my opinions on these minifigures. Alright, starting with the first minifigure, note that each of this minifigure doesn't have a name yet, because I think Disney is trying to hide their identity as of right now. Probably they might appear in future movies. I'm not so sure about that, but yeah, let's start with the looks of this. So for this first minifigure, note that for Y-shaped patterns of like Mandalorian armor and T-shape such as this means that this is a male Mandalorian, whereas this is a female Mandalorian, depending on the shape of their helmet. So for this, it spots green and blue patterned kind of Mandalorian helmet, which is pretty nice, I guess. So this female minifigure is pretty nicely printed. As always, if you didn't know, Mandalorian armor are pretty much quite special in appearance and very aesthetically appealing, especially in terms of the number of colors used on their armor. So for this one, it actually spots a kind of blue and green pattern all over the clothing. This one actually resembles some kind of Jedi clothing of some sort. So this is cloth on like a blue leg piece over there, with utility belts and the normal armor of Mandalorian. And in the back, it also spots the utility belt and the armor at the back as well. So that's pretty nice for this minifigure. Comes with a brown cloth or brown cape as well. Every of this minifigure comes with a cape. So now let's move on to the next one. So for the next Mandalorian figure, this is a male minifigure, which spots a light blue and some purple paints on it. So for this particular minifigure, unlike the others, it really reminds me of this particular minifigure, which is Sabine Wren from Rebel. So she's part of Clan Wren of the Mandalorian clans. So yeah, she likes to decorate her costume, like paint her helmets and armor as well. So it's kind of similar between these 2 minifigures as a whole. Therefore, I feel like this character, someday it might be a bit related to Sabine Wren. We never know. She might appear in the next Mandalorian movie, Sabine Wren that is. So yeah, I really like the prints on this. This kind of resembles a skull, but that could be just my own opinion of this purple skull over here. And then it spots light blue on its armor, the utility belt, and then unlike the previous minifigure that is more of cloth on leg piece, this is more of some accessories, or I guess like other equipment on his leg piece instead, which spots a bit of silverish pattern on it. And then the back sports like grayish green cape, and then the back of the armor and utility belt. For the next minifigure we have is another female minifig for a Mandalorian. So this one over here actually spots a more traditional kind of Mandalorian costume as compared to the other 2. I feel like this is more basic in comparison to them, because it spots a gray in color and orange. Gray and orange pattern throughout with some bluish gray or grayish blue kind of patterns on it. So I feel like out of all of them, this might be the most dull colored Mandalorian, but personally I still like it quite a lot. And it has a black cape, unlike the others, which spots more of the brown capes. and then the armor and utility belt behind with the grayish blue legs as well. Now let's move on with the last minifigure. The last minifigure is one of my favorites after the painted one. Sorry about that, this thing just dropped out. So for this particular minifigure, he feels, I don't know, this could be my personal opinion, like the boss out of all 4 of the minifigures, because he has orange brown kind of pattern throughout the whole thing. Gives him a bit of those cowboy feels for some reason, and he has a dark brown cape with him. So for his costume, he has, similar to other minifigs, the armor and utility belt and a normal brown in color leg piece. And then when I move to the back, once I take up the cape, he also have the armor at the back with a utility belt. As you can see here, there's some of those silver pattern here representing that maybe he's gone through a lot of wars and his armor is starting to break down and decompose. So that could be some like battle scars, I guess, on the armor. So that's pretty cool. So the extra pieces actually provided us with a lot of those visor piece that is used for both Mandalorians right now and clone troopers in the past. So that's pretty nice to get them again, such as this. So yeah, now let's move on to the main review of the set. Alright, now for the main builds of this set, there's only 2 mini builds over here that make up the main build. First is this over here, which is kind of like a hiding spot, or I guess a place where a Mandalorian can hide behind and shoot their enemies from behind this rocks area and dirt area. So it's a pretty simple build for a landscape, but it kind of works as a whole, especially for such character packs. So I guess it's nice for LEGO to actually provide us with like a landscape kind of build for us to position our minifigs in a way whereby we can imagine they are fighting against a horde of like stormtroopers, or maybe the Empire that is trying to hunt after them for specific reasons. So yeah, that's a pretty nice build on LEGO's part to provide us with. Next, I guess this is kind of the main build of the set, since this is kind of a speedo kind of build, or like how do I call it, a mini starship that the Mandalorians can use to travel around Mandalore, for example, or perhaps when they are on other planets, being hired as bounty hunters or something to do certain tasks. Yeah, they could use this to track down their enemies or run away from other people. But like all you can fit, okay, the maximum you can fit, I think it would be 2 minifigs if you really try to fit them in. So while the other one just stays behind or rides behind like that. Yeah, the maximum is 2 minifigures, but I would recommend only 1 minifig to be put on this. So yeah, that's about it for the design of this. There's nothing much to it. It's pretty simple build as well for both mini builds or the main builds. So for this battle pack, I'll give it, I guess, for a battle pack, an A. And if like I have to say the contents or for the price ratio kind of thing, I'll give it a B+, because it's like 102 pieces for around, I don't know, $20. I mean, yeah, $20. So yeah, maybe the price, brick to price ratio is a bit off, but like otherwise I like the minifigs provided in this set. I just wish one more thing is that I do wish that this wasn't like a black headpiece completely with no prints on it. It's kind of sad, to be honest, when I look at this. I wish they had some character faces on it, but I do understand of Disney's concern to keep it confidential for certain purposes for a future Star Wars movie. So yeah, nothing much other than that. I'll give it a B+ in general, I guess. I like that they give us a landscape to play with. I like that they give us a speedo. But personally, I feel like it would have been nice if they just made another kind of speedo with different color bricks on it instead of this landscape. I don't really need it, but I get that kids will want to play with it more. So yeah, it's better to have a landscape if it's for kids. Yeah, that's about it for my review for today. If you like my videos, please subscribe, and if you don't, leave a comment. Check out my other videos related to this, like the haul video and this real-time build. Ninja never quit, and see you on the next adventure. Bye guys.